What began as an uneventful morning in Robyn Brown's Flagstaff home was never meant to become a turning point. It was supposed to be one of those quiet, predictable days where nothing ever really happens. TLC had arrived only to capture routine background footage, harmless B-roll meant for a future recap. The kind of footage no one pays attention to, the kind that fades into the background. Robyn, the carefully composed fourth wife, lounged on her leather sectional, cradling her usual cup of herbal tea. The living room was calm, almost sterile in its tranquility. The camera crew, long accustomed to filming her measured smiles and soft-spoken demeanor, let the cameras roll without concern. To them, this was just another ordinary shoot. But what the cameras captured would soon detonate like a bomb beneath the Brown family. Unaware that her microphone was still live, Robyn answered a phone call from her older sister, Kendra. As the conversation progressed, something shifted. Her voice hardened. The gentle, trembling tone viewers had grown familiar with vanished, replaced by something sharper, colder. As she stirred her tea, she scoffed openly. "Cody's still pretending he's drowning financially," she said dismissively. "Please." He signed off on the reorganization. Then came the comment that made the room go still. "And Janelle still thinks she has a legal claim to Coyote Pass? That's just pitiful." Off camera, one of the producers visibly reacted, eyes widening in disbelief. What had just been said was no minor slip. It sounded like a confession, an admission that Robyn and Cody had orchestrated a financial restructuring that deliberately excluded both Mary and Janelle. Her voice dropped even lower, dripping with feigned sympathy wrapped in quiet venom. "I wish they'd all just go away," she murmured. "Bless their hearts, but they can't even take care of their kids, their marriages, or their finances." She let out a brief, cutting laugh, sharp, almost cruel. It was not the Robyn audiences knew. It was not the woman who cried on cue, who claimed to want unity and peace. This was something else entirely. The camera crew immediately knew they had captured something explosive. Back at TLC headquarters, the footage set off alarm bells. Executives debated fiercely behind closed doors. This wasn't a careless remark or an offhand jab. It revealed strategy, manipulation, intent. Broadcasting it could invite lawsuits. Burying it could destroy credibility. Before a decision could be made, the footage leaked. A fatigued or frustrated low-level editor sent the clip to someone connected to a scandal blog. From there, it spread like wildfire. Within hours, the internet did what it does best. It erupted. By the next day, hashtags like #RobynExposed and #SisterWifeScandal were trending across YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter. Reaction videos multiplied. Comment sections burned. Janelle saw the video when her son Logan showed it to her. She sat silently in her rental home, phone resting in her hand. Watching Robyn mock her financial struggles felt like a physical blow.
She didn't speak.
She simply placed the phone on the table and stared into nothingness for 10 long minutes. Mary learned about it while attending a work retreat in Utah. At first, she laughed, an involuntary reaction born of shock rather than humor. But the laughter faded quickly. Tears followed. For years, she had told herself Robyn was misunderstood, maybe even fragile. That illusion shattered in seconds. That night, Mary posted a single cryptic quote to Instagram.
"No caption. No explanation."
A wolf in sheep's clothing is still a wolf, even if she weeps. The message spoke volumes. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button and join our YouTube family. Thank you for your support. The internet caught fire all over again. Cody, meanwhile, was stunned, not by Robyn's betrayal, but by how swiftly public opinion turned. When a producer showed him the leaked footage, he waved it off.
"She didn't mean it like that," he insisted.
"You're twisting her words." But behind closed doors, his anger boiled. Not just toward Robyn, but toward himself. The footage made him look weak, complicit, exposed. Especially when she had casually suggested he pretend to be heartbroken. The ease with which she said it hurt more than anything. The house grew silent. Cold. Heavy with tension. Cody avoided Robyn's gaze and retreated to the guest room yet again. The fallout didn't spare the children. Dayton and Aurora, usually fiercely protective of their mother, were devastated. Aurora broke down in tears during a recorded exchange, confronting Robyn directly. "Why would you say those things?"
she asked.
"When you say you love the family, do you mean it?" Dayton, who had long avoided the spotlight, agreed to a rare interview. His voice was quiet but firm. "I think people are finally seeing who my mom really is," he said. "She's not who she pretends to be when the cameras are on." Then another bombshell surfaced. A previously unreleased confessional from season 18 leaked online. In it, Robyn spoke with the same sugar-coated bitterness. "I just want Christine to stop tearing everything down. I wish Mary would let go. And Janelle. I hope she finally realizes she doesn't belong." Each sentence began with "I wish," but there was no kindness in them. Only resentment wrapped in false concern. Fans recognized the tone immediately. This wasn't rumor anymore. It was proof. "She's not crying anymore," one fan wrote. "She's calculating." The backlash became impossible to ignore. Under mounting pressure, TLC finally issued a statement confirming that the footage was authentic and would be addressed in future episodes. Translation: the editing gloves were coming off. Soon after, TLC announced a 3-part spin-off, Unscripted: The Truth Behind Sister Wives, a raw, no-holds-barred look at what really happened behind the scenes. Robyn refused to participate. Cody hesitated. Mary and Janelle didn't. "You want the truth?" Mary told producers. "We lived it. And we're ready to tell all of it." Even Christine returned. When she walked onto the set, something shifted. This wasn't the soft-spoken Christine viewers remembered. She stood taller, stronger. Wearing a fiery red blouse, she radiated resolve. The studio was stripped bare, no cozy couches, no warm lighting. Just stark reality. A reckoning. Christine spoke calmly, but her hands trembled. Seeing that video, the one where Robyn mocked Janelle and told Cody to pretend to be heartbroken, that was it for me. She looked at Mary and Janelle. "We twisted ourselves into knots trying to be fair." Justice died the day Cody stopped coming home. Then she faced the camera. Robyn used her tears as weapons, she said. And we let her. When asked what she'd say if Robyn were there, Christine didn't hesitate. "You lied.
To us.
To the kids. To yourself. You broke the family and cried over the pieces." Janelle finally spoke. She never wanted sister wives. She wanted Cody. And she got him, at our expense. The adult children echoed the same truth. "We just wanted to be treated equally," Savannah sobbed. But Robyn made sure only her kids had that version of dad. Then, unexpectedly, Cody arrived. He looked exhausted, defeated. Sitting across from the women, he finally admitted the truth. "She was lying," he said quietly, "about everything." For the first time in years, the 3 women sat together, united not by marriage, but by truth.
No scripts. No masks.
Just honesty. And it changed everything. People finally understood. When the cameras shut off and the red lights dimmed, the 3 women stepped together into the harsh Arizona sunlight, free, furious, and finally united. They didn't look back. What lay behind them was no longer theirs to carry. What lay ahead was truth, raw and unavoidable, now streaming live to the world whether anyone wanted it or not. 3 days after the reunion special detonated across social media and scorched every corner of the internet, Robyn Brown resurfaced. But not through TLC. There was no press release, no media handler, no polished apology drafted by professionals. Instead, she appeared alone, sitting on the edge of her bed, barefaced, eyes swollen, voice trembling as she went live on Instagram. Before she could even speak, the comments flooded in. More tears. Still no accountability. "We've seen the footage, Robyn. It's over." She stared into the camera, blinking rapidly, her eyes glassy. She sniffed and finally spoke, struggling to steady her voice.
She didn't know where to begin, she said.
It felt like everyone was attacking her, women she once loved, the ex-wives of her husband, and now the entire world. Her voice wavered before sharpening. That video everyone kept sharing, she insisted, was edited. It was private. TLC twisted it. They made her look like the villain. Then came the familiar deflection. Hand pressed to her chest, she spoke of peace. She had only ever wanted harmony in the family. She loved Mary. She loved Janelle. Her lips quivered, but her eyes narrowed as sadness morphed into fury. Christine never showed me warmth, she snapped. But I still tried. These women accuse me of destroying everything, but they never talk about what they did to me. They shut me out. They were cruel to my kids. They made me feel unwelcome. The tears stopped. Anger replaced them. This narrative they're pushing is dangerous, she warned, locking eyes with the camera. It's intentional. They're punishing me for things I didn't do. They weaponized TLC. They weaponized social media. She took a breath, then added the line that sealed her fate. I never wanted to be the favorite. They made that up because they couldn't accept that Cody loved me. But the sympathy she expected never came. Within 12 hours, Robyn's live stream passed 2 million views. Clips circulated endlessly, but not as redemption. Viewers dissected every sentence, every sob, every calculated pause. YouTube commentary channels analyzed her expressions frame by frame. And the glaring absence of a single sincere apology did not go unnoticed. Then came the most devastating blow of all, one that no press team could contain. That evening, fans discovered a new TikTok account at Truth From Inside. It quickly became clear the account belonged to Robyn's teenage daughter, Brianna. The first post was grainy and dark.
No visuals.
Just audio. Robyn's voice, recorded weeks before the scandal. I'll cry on TV again if TLC tries to spin something against me, she said. People eat that up. They'll never turn on me. The internet froze, then exploded. Hours later, Aurora posted her own video. She sat nervously in a sweatshirt, hands folded tightly in her lap, voice barely above a whisper. I don't know how much longer I can pretend, she admitted. Pretend that I love my mom the way I'm supposed to. She paused, swallowing hard. She talks behind people's backs all the time. Christine.
Mary.
Sometimes even Dad. But when the cameras turn on, she becomes someone else. I don't know who she really is anymore. The collapse was swift. Almost overnight, Robyn vanished. Her Instagram disappeared. Comments on old posts were disabled. The emotional live stream was deleted. And quietly, but unmistakably, TLC removed her long-standing title of Family Peacemaker from the official cast bios. A leaked internal exchange from the network summed it up bluntly. This isn't editing anymore. When your own kids speak up, that's not a storyline. That's reality catching up. Cody hit his breaking point shortly after. In a segment accidentally broadcast, he was overheard speaking to a producer, unaware his microphone was still live. She lied to me too, he said quietly. I don't know how I get past that.
I'm not even sure I want to.
The man who once clung to Robyn as his emotional lifeline now stood alone, adrift in the wreckage of a betrayal too massive to deny. Meanwhile, the cameras followed the women again, but this time, the tone was entirely different. Christine, Mary, and Janelle gathered at Christine's home in Utah. There was laughter.
Tears.
Relief. They toasted together, not to the past, but to survival. To truth, Christine said, raising her glass. Mary smiled softly. We wasted too many years waiting for Cody's permission. No more, Janelle agreed. Christine lifted her glass higher.
To peace.
Real peace. Finally ours. Weeks later, TLC released a quiet but seismic press statement early one Monday morning. A new series was coming. Sister Strong, Life After Polygamy. The announcement was unmistakable. The cast would include Christine, Mary, Janelle, and their adult children.
No Cody. No Robyn. No excuses.
This wasn't Sister Wives anymore. It was something entirely new. Each episode would follow the women as individuals and as allies. Janelle would step into financial independence, rebuilding what had nearly been destroyed. Mary's long silence journey would finally be heard, chronicling healing, self-worth, and even the possibility of love again. Christine's story would focus on liberation, breaking free from spiritual manipulation and building a joyful life alongside David Woolley. And for the first time, the adult children would speak freely, unedited, unfiltered. As the women moved forward, Robyn was pulled backward into court. She filed a $3.5 million lawsuit against TLC, accusing the network of defamation, emotional distress, and character exploitation. Cody's name appeared beside hers. They claimed the footage had destroyed their reputations and damaged their marriage. TLC didn't flinch. Their legal team responded with signed releases, internal emails, and production notes. Documents showed Robyn had repeatedly requested reshoots to heighten emotional impact, asked producers to portray the other wives as jealous, and instructed crews not to film interactions that didn't make her appear nurturing. In court, Robyn appeared fragile, shaking in a worn gray cardigan. But under oath, the tears carried no weight. When the judge asked why her own daughters had contradicted her narrative, she broke down, claiming Christine influenced them. The judge cut her off. "Your children are adults," he said plainly. "They spoke for themselves. TLC is not your issue."
The truth is.
The courtroom fell silent. Later that evening, Sister Strong premiered live. Viewers flooded in with questions. Does Robyn feel remorse? Christine answered without hesitation. She regrets getting caught. "You can't lie forever," Mary added. "Truth has teeth." Janelle was direct. "She lied to us. She lied to our kids. And she lied to America." Weeks later, Robyn was spotted alone at a Flagstaff grocery store.
No cameras. No entourage.
Just sunglasses, a hoodie, and defeat. When asked if she planned to appeal, she whispered, "There's nothing left to fight for. Everything is gone." The internet called it the fall of Queen Robyn. Even her most loyal defenders walked away. Cody's final interview followed shortly after. Gone was the bluster. Gone was the rage. "I was deceived," he admitted. "But I let it happen. I pushed away the people who gave me everything for a love that wasn't real." There were no excuses left. Only regret. As Cody faded from view, Sister Strong shattered records. Janelle launched a nonprofit to help women escape financially abusive spiritual relationships. Mary began writing her memoir. Christine and David hosted retreats for women reclaiming their independence. The final shot of the season became iconic. The three women standing together in the desert at golden hour, wind in their hair, faces calm. "Everything was lost," Christine said. "But we're free," Janelle added. "And whole," Mary finished. Robyn disappeared until word leaked of a memoir, The Sacred Heart, My Truth as a Sister Wife. The audience didn't bite. They had already chosen truth over tears. And this time, they weren't looking back. Within hours of publication, #Sacred Lies surged across social media. What Robyn Brown had once commanded so effortlessly, sympathy, belief, even forgiveness, evaporated almost instantly. The tears that once disarmed critics no longer carried weight. They felt rehearsed.
Familiar. Hollow.
Advanced copies of The Sacred Heart circulated quietly among industry insiders, and the reaction was immediate and brutal. Rather than offering reflection or accountability, the book doubled down on deflection. Robyn blamed everyone but herself. TLC's editing, she claimed, manufactured a false villain. Christine was accused of spiritual sabotage. Mary was portrayed as emotionally abusive. Janelle was reduced to a woman motivated solely by money. But the most shocking claim came buried deep within the chapters. Robyn suggested her daughters, Aurora and Brianna, had been influenced by outside forces and manipulated into turning against her. For many readers, that crossed a line that could not be uncrossed. Days later, Robyn's older sister Kendra broke her silence. She uploaded a 12-minute YouTube video titled Robyn Brown, My Sister, Her Deceptions, and the Truth. There was no polish.
No script.
Just a woman speaking plainly into the camera, voice steady, but eyes wet. "I love my sister," Kendra began. "But I watched her lie to those women. I watched her build a story where she was always the hero and everyone else was the villain. It wasn't real." She paused, collecting herself. Tears pooled in her eyes, but she did not retreat from them. She used her tears like armor, Kendra continued. And when people stopped believing her, she turned on her own children. Before ending the video, Kendra left viewers with a single, chilling thought. If Robyn tells you she's the victim today, she said, ask her who she blamed last year, because it's never herself. The internet erupted. The video amassed over 4 million views in 3 days. For weeks, Aurora and Brianna had remained silent, retreating from the storm they never asked to be part of. But after reading early excerpts from their mother's book, they could no longer stay quiet. In a tearful Instagram live, the sisters appeared side by side. Their words were careful, but their pain was unmistakable. My mom doesn't get to rewrite my story, Aurora said, her voice trembling but firm. I'm not being disloyal. I just finally saw the truth. Brianna followed softly. We loved her. We tried to believe her. But she turned everyone against each other. We were kids. We were used. She lifted her eyes to the camera. We're not corrupted. We're not strangers. We're just not blind anymore. The broadcast shattered records. Over 2 million people watched live. Millions more streamed it afterward. For the first time, Aurora and Brianna weren't extensions of someone else's narrative. They had a voice of their own. TLC took notice. Within weeks, the network announced a one-night special. From our perspective, the voices of Robyn Brown's daughters. There were no sets. No dramatic music.
No filters.
Just 2 young women seated on a plain couch, journals and letters spread between them, unfiltered fragments of a childhood lived under constant emotional pressure. Aurora recalled a moment that lingered with her. Mom used to tell us, don't believe what they say about me. Be loyal. Don't ask questions. Brianna read from a diary entry written during the move to Flagstaff. Mom said Christine was jealous and dangerous. She read quietly. But Christine always smiled at us. She never scared me. The special didn't need theatrics. The truth carried its own gravity. Viewers watched as the sisters spoke not only about manipulation, but about the childhood they felt slipping away while they tried to protect a story that was never theirs to hold. The day after the special aired, Robyn posted one final message to her Instagram story. Even if the world turns my kids against me, I will always love them. It was brief.
Vague.
Empty. The next day, her profile went dark. In contrast, the women Robyn once positioned herself against were moving forward, together. In a new episode of Sister Strong, Christine, Janelle, and Mary hosted a retreat in southern Utah. The atmosphere was calm, grounding, filled with laughter and quiet reflection. The theme was simple, taking back your story. During the Q&A, someone asked about Robyn's book and the recent special. You can only lie for so long, Mary said gently. Eventually, the truth speaks for itself. Janelle nodded. I'm proud of Aurora and Brianna. It takes real courage to walk out of manipulation and still stand tall. Christine wiped away a tear but smiled. Those girls aren't surviving anymore. They're building something new, and we'll support them every step of the way. As the episode closed, the camera lingered on a bookshelf in Christine's home. Family photos lined the shelves. Between them sat a single untouched copy of The Sacred Heart. A sticky note rested on the cover. One word, written in Janelle's handwriting, fiction. Christine laughed softly. Mary's voice followed, calm and resolute. Let's move on. 6 months passed. With her book quietly withdrawn, her social media gone, and TLC fully severed, Robyn reemerged once more. This time on YouTube. The channel was titled Living in Love, Robyn Brown, My Journey to Truth. The branding was soft, pastel, deliberate. Gentle piano music, floral imagery, carefully curated vulnerability. The internet was unconvinced. Her debut video, They All Left Me, garnered nearly 1 million views in a day and an overwhelming number of dislikes. Viewers recognized the pattern. The tears, the monologue, the absence of responsibility. Then came the fatal error. 2 nights later, Robyn accidentally uploaded 45 minutes of raw, unedited footage, voicemails, screen recordings, private audio. It was removed within minutes, but it was already too late. One voicemail, left for Cody, sent shockwaves. "You promised to take care of me." Robyn's voice snapped, cold and furious. "I let those women embarrass me on television, so you could be the hero. You owe me." Another message, this one for TLC, was calm, controlled, and unmistakably threatening. "I created this show," she said. "I know what ratings need, and I have receipts." But the most disturbing clip was a private audio note meant only for herself. "What if crying doesn't work this time?" she whispered. "Maybe I should stage a breakdown." There was no spinning it now. No editing to blame. TLC responded swiftly, issuing a statement distancing itself entirely from Robyn. Days later, they aired a final special, Unmasked, behind the curtain of Robyn Brown. Christine listened quietly. Janelle went pale. Mary spoke last. "She always said she was the victim," Mary said. "That was her costume." The final segment showed Cody alone, listening to the voicemails. He said nothing at first. Then, softly, "I believed she was real. God forgive me." He stood and walked off set. No speech. No drama. Just silence. Across the internet, one truth became undeniable. Robyn Brown's downfall was not fueled by rumor or editing, but by her own voice. Months later, a blurry photo surfaced. Robyn, working quietly in a small Utah shop under a different last name.
No cameras.
No audience. No tears left to spend. Then TLC made its boldest move yet. An 18-second teaser aired one crisp autumn morning. Two silhouettes against a wide Utah sky. Soft piano music. Words fading into view. Breaking the pattern an hour later, the announcement followed. A limited series starring Aurora and Brianna Brown, telling their story on their own terms.
No spin. No tears.
Just truth. And finally, healing. Summary of the entire storyline. The controversy surrounding Robyn Brown intensified rapidly after the hashtag sacred lie trended within hours of her book's release. Public sympathy toward Robyn evaporated as advanced copies circulated, revealing a narrative where she blamed everyone except herself. She accused TLC of manipulation, portrayed Christine as spiritually malicious, labeled Mary emotionally abusive, reduced Janelle to financial motives, and most controversially suggested her own daughters, Aurora and Brianna, had been influenced by outsiders to turn against her. The situation escalated when Robyn's sister, Kendra, broke her silence through a raw, unscripted YouTube video titled Robyn Brown, My Sister, Her Deceptions and the Truth. Speaking emotionally yet firmly, Kendra accused Robyn of fabricating victim narratives, manipulating tears for sympathy, and ultimately turning on her own children when public belief faded. The video went viral, amassing 4.6 million views in just 3 days, igniting widespread backlash. Soon after, Aurora and Brianna publicly reclaimed their voices. In a tearful Instagram Live, they rejected their mother's portrayal of them as manipulated victims. Aurora stated that Robyn could not rewrite her story, while Brianna described how they were emotionally used as children. Their live stream shattered records, drawing over 2.3 million live viewers, and shifted the public narrative decisively. Recognizing the impact of their voices, TLC produced a one-night special centered entirely on Aurora and Brianna. Stripped of dramatic production, the episode presented journals, diary entries, and memories revealing years of emotional manipulation. Their calm, honest reflections deeply resonated with viewers and required no sensationalism to convey the damage done. Robyn responded only briefly with a single Instagram sentence expressing love for her children before disappearing entirely from public platforms. Meanwhile, Christine, Janelle, and Mary appeared united at a wellness retreat themed Taking Back Your Story. They expressed support for Aurora and Brianna, emphasizing truth, healing, and forward movement. A symbolic moment closed the episode. Robyn's book sat untouched on a shelf, labeled with a single word: fiction. Months later, Robyn attempted a comeback through a new YouTube channel framed as a healing journey. While initially drawing attention, public skepticism dominated. Her image collapsed completely after she accidentally uploaded 45 minutes of unedited private content, including voicemails and audio notes. These leaks exposed anger, manipulation, and threats toward both Cody and TLC, contradicting her public persona. Most disturbing was a private audio confession in which Robyn openly contemplated staging emotional breakdowns for attention, admitting fear that her tears no longer worked. The fallout was immediate and irreversible. TLC publicly severed ties, aired a special episode reacting to the leaked content, and featured Cody listening to the recordings. His quiet admission of regret marked a somber conclusion to their relationship. In the aftermath, Robyn vanished entirely, her social media deleted, her book withdrawn, and her public identity erased. A final glimpse showed her working quietly under a different name, far removed from fame. The story concluded with TLC's most powerful move, announcing a new limited series titled Breaking the Pattern, starring Aurora and Robyn Brown. The 6-episode series promises to tell their story, unfiltered, unmanipulated, and focused on healing. With Christine, Janelle, and Mary appearing as guests, the narrative fully shifts from deception to recovery. The Robyn era ended not through rumor, but through her own words, while her daughters' voices finally emerged to define the future. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button and join our YouTube family. Thank you for your support. New videos are coming very soon.